Yahoo! Welcome. Good time zone. I forgot to change the game. There we go. We are back in Of the Devil episode 0. Staring at this boy fail question mark who I think may have dug a deeper and deeper hole for himself, and Morgan has to pull him out of it. Your Honor, my client could not have possibly killed his girlfriend. Why? Because he's incompetent. Sorry. Yaha! I hope you're doing well. I had a wonderful day of rotting in bed and playing Little Witch in the Woods for like 10 hours or something like that. I don't know what year it is. Very eventful day. I hope you're doing well and I hope you get some rest soon. Yeah, to go get back into it. This is my client. The cuts on his face are just from shaving. You just played Night Rain? Nice. There's a new expert coming out for that soon, right? Or no? That's Elden Ring? Never thought this would go on so long I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small. Rumbling, but then spasms. You did some drawing? Share with the class. Psst, 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 psst. One of your New Year goals is to draw more, right? I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Nuts. But the problem got bigger? Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moments and people could get hurt. So I sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list like you wouldn't. It doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no. I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times. But as long as I'm renting and not owning... Hi, Howl. How are you? I had spicy chicken for dinner. My nose is still running. I'm sorry if you hear that. Also, hi Ninji. I feel like I didn't say that yet. Hi Ninji. I hope you're doing well too. I am... I'm alive. I don't want to go back to work tomorrow, but you know, I must work in order to receive money so that I may give the cat more things, more food, more toys, more yes. I actually got him a new scratch post lounge thing this past week because he was scratching my yoga mat and my yoga mat was starting to look a little rough and I kind of still need the yoga mat. Why do they call it devil when you of in the devil of out devil of the in the out the hi Vatra, how are you? Hope you're doing well. This is amazing, boy. I can't wait to see the finished version of it. It looks amazing. I really like your lines. They are very clean. And slightly cursed. But I think that was intended, so. But as long as I'm renting and not owning, the manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stump for a shoulder. You just found the new brush? Nice. That prosthetic is submitted 5 weeks ago at a Howe partnered prosthetic adjustment clinic. Average wait list duration of 40 business days. 40 business days? That's 8 weeks. That's 2.5 months. Give or take. Damn. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. You couldn't buy or rent a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state, and they've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi. All Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? How? Industries? Hindi. 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 Let's go with Hindi. As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models. Them's playing Crow County? Nice. I hope you enjoy watching. If I took one step on site with uninsured tech, forget the fines. I'd lose the down payment and my arm, and I'd never work in this city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that Long's in Depop shit. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Oh, I have more things. July 8th, 189 centimeters, 94 kilograms. The other arm? Yes, both of his arms are gonna be gone. B- civil engineer at Canopy, likes airports, worn shoes, firm beds, dislikes cabs, musicals, and cashews. Why cashews specifically? Favorite flower is poppy, so he likes getting high, or maybe not. Maybe he just likes the flower. Student debt is sizable and he has poor luck. Unfortunate. Howe Industries is the world leader in the research, development, manufacturing, and fitting of cybernetic prosthetics for commercial and private use. And we're hiring! We're seeking motivated and passionate archivists, programmers, salespeople, and college graduates with degrees in digital archaeology, cybernetic anatomy, and more. And add. Dislike musicals SMH. I mean... He's a doer, he's not a listener. Pain'll come and go, it's the itches that'll kill ya. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Oh, phantom pain, yeah. Phantom pain has become more widely experienced and understood as a result of the spread of the body mod movement. Debate over whether the modder scene has increased or decreased public empathy for amputees and the disabled remains contentious. Did you mean phantom visions? Phantom visions are caused by faulty insulation on cybernetic eye mods, resulting in periodic electrical discharge across the retina. Schedule a consultation immediately if you suspect this applies to you. Users also frequently search for "My mod hurts. Modder itching. Is my arm haunted?" I like this. Arm-shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something to, well, wear in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me is a dead weight 3-jointed landfill bait piece of shit. So Sorry, it's just it's a very shitty feeling having a part of your body that you know they cut corners on. Uh, it fits. It's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again, but the fingers don't even bend and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep. Or dead. So, were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. But I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so... Oh, interesting. 2081 Bronzier prosthetic limb. An affordable model. Customers frequently cite issues with finger articulation and quick twitch movements. Can't have gotten too far. So Detective Reyes was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim spot on his left arm only, because at the time in question, he didn't even have a right. Damn. Just arm. One arm only. No inconsistencies in the story so far, and he's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends, always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds pretty cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics. Focused her studies on agriculture. It always takes them a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her postgrad work this year. Got hired right out of the gate. Practically headhunted, you believe that? Wow. Girlfriend was a girl boss. Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company'd be lucky to have her, and like... It was a real ass job. Paid real ass money, too. So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree. No, Perigee Laboratories. They say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Argo's umbrella. Other than that, that doesn't narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Argo is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable. Like the seasons. No one's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah, they loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes. Corporate politics getting rough? I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. But I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. And there's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It was a long shot, hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to shift blame onto. But with no other suspect... Wow. I can't speak today. I feel like every time I try to stream a visual novel, I can't speak. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle a detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was? Now, I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Oh. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. Alright, Miss, Morgan. Happy Morgan Monday! I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We'd been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money, haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself. But more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous of her nothing. Jealous of her goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.? 8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. I crossed the line and we both knew it. So I left. You left? Yeah, walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course the air wasn't fresh, just humid, thick like mud. And while I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you? Or any other electronics? No. I kinda stormed off, didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him, at least. Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Just when I thought he couldn't dig a deeper hole for himself. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time. Wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is... But if my exact route would help, the cams probably. What? What is it? Optics was what? Can that even happen? Wow, even his hand is open. His one arm. And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning, you've got no alibi. This can't... Listen, I didn't do this. I couldn't... Carlos. I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So, let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right. Now, you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first. But at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't... You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment. Street facing entrance. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. In the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was... The lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we'd been robbed or she had fallen or... There was broken glass, furniture knocked over. And she was... I called her name and she didn't move. I checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw a gun. It looked so heavy. But I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Pick it up? I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, tasty lies, bad lies, especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie, but it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Halt! Heads up. Stay up to date on the details of all evidence by checking your phone. If your clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about, they'll stop giving you any credit. You did attach the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because of your prints. His left hand. Right there. That one. His flesh hand. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. Now, how can somebody be so unlucky? Unless he's lying, but I don't think he's lying. Oh, what? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Ugh. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun. But not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun. So stupid. I know what a gun looks like. But seeing it in my own home, right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in some time after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight? What, physical? We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. Which means they also assumed the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. Considering what Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene? Oh. It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that... It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay. Let me see it. Take your time. Looking. Perceiving. Alright, I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was, but well, the mirror was upright, of course. And that clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, and the urn fell. Other than that... No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. I see. Like so? She drew it? Oh my god, that's adorable. What's wrong? Something out of place? Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. Look at those sparkles. She's so proud of herself. You go, Morgan. It's just I guess I just assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR? Well, I suppose that works too. She just wanted to practice drawing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I think your drawing was pretty good, considering. I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean, this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. A confession? But this is just a note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to, red flag. So this morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to, which you clearly did not. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Gold star for effort, I think. But my guy. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them? That's... I broke her Fidgetubbies. Her what? Her what? Her Fidgetubbies. Oh my god, what in the Chiikawa is this? Are these collectible ceramic character things Labubus? They're supposed to be like tactile? You use them as paperweights or conversation starters. Conversation starters? She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they mean a lot to her. They meant a lot to her, and I broke them. The victim's personal collection was pulverized by Carlos Flat's replacement prosthetic arm the morning of the murder. Evidently an acquired taste. And I broke them. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but that goddamn piece of shit rental arm, I hardly know where I'm swinging it half the time. Got so angry, I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room, that cheap, dusty, worthless. Carlos discarded it in frustration after smashing into the victim's collectibles and hasn't worn it since. That's gonna be important. Okay. Let's say he did break her Frigiduckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note for me to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession for the heartbreak killings anyway, couldn't even bother to sweep them up, I felt so. Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. They didn't sweep them up. Or is it? It's this. And on the far side of the room by the western window. So he swung it and then he threw it in some corner. So his arm was nowhere near the crime scene. What are they saying that he did again? Oh, but they were saying that the gun had his left hand fingerprints on it. So actually, that doesn't really help us right now. Alright, Carlos. Thanks for answering my question. Now, I'm going to call the police back in here and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it. Oh, okay. Although, before I do that, I do have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but I'm sure everybody's on edge, a guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right? The police have kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources. So, unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? If he's this slow on the uptake, it's gonna be a real shock when those officers walk in here and accuse him of being a serial killer. We'll just have to squash that theory as quickly and definitively as possible. I I didn't I didn't realize you could smoke in here. Coat's back on. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. Smoking in a non-smoking area for a fee. I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Right. I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though. He's sweating buckets. Oh. Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh, and, what areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? No, ma'am, I never go anywhere near loot boxes. Won't touch the stuff. I meant more like playing cards. Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win, which makes things pretty fun. Okay, so, do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. Her eyes black. Morgan, and are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And, in this metaphor, we're playing poker, and the state's the dealer? If only. No, the state's more like the house. You mean, like, the house always wins? Yes. They're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. So, what do we do? We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up, and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder and whisper something in their ear. And then we'll be politely asked to leave. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking, like, what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy? What's up? Wow, look at her. You know, there's a saying about gamblers with strategies. Yo, ready to confess yet? 'Cause I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys will have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials, and they all dislike having their time wasted. Unfortunately, then you'll have to call them back, because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right! What? She said. You go, girl boss. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. Different generations, I guess. Before my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, Detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession. Let's start there. Okay, well, we'll be happy to. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts, what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, Counselor. Real paint by numbers stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment with his fingerprints on it, apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning on spinning that? Those are the facts. But I've been building up my hand all night. And now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try and throw at me. Well, the client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... Analyze the facts as they're laid out, then review the responses in your hand. Select the card that best answers the argument and place it into the slot on the right. He wrote a confession. He was apologizing for the debris, ceramic crap near western window. He was simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? Morgan? What? I found myself asking that exact same question. Why is the achievement beginner's luck? What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the room, it's created from data you captured, right? Pure non-GMO, augmented reality crime scene data, yeah. What's non-GMO? Not much these days. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder. Full of busted shit for sure. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase that got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh, because that vase wasn't damaged. That vase is still pristine. Oh, is that... How is that possible? Oh. The lady at that garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it! The one time I try and throw stuff on my... Well, so what? What does it even matter? I can't believe Flat cut in just to be mad that the vase that's supposed to be old and delicate didn't break. The vase doesn't have a scratch on it, and the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying that confession was his apology for not vacuuming? I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of fidgetables. But he said, Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident, and this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note, and we can all plainly see that there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Those things. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed, as the arcs clearly shows. Those fidgetubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle, too. You're really gonna claim he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that, and there's proof. There are two things that I could possibly do, and I'm not sure which one to do. This one in his shaky handwriting shows that he didn't have his right hand, but that might also be just true because he could have been using his rental, which is not known to be unhelpful anyway. And then we were told that this broke the Fidgetubbies, and then he threw it in some corner ever since. So, and it doesn't say where the police found it. So I think the most likely one is probably the rental. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody. Huh? One swipe of your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the Fickle Buddies ecosystem. She cannot pronounce that word. It's so funny.
It's Fidgetubbies. Whatever. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your techs found ceramic debris on it, yes?
Now that you mention it.
Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm while he was killing her. Happy? Overjoyed? Because
even a cheap arm's got an operating system that logged the last time it was worn, right?
right.
See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report. Said that the rental hadn't been used since the morning.
Whose side are you on, old man?
It's gotten pretty late, sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can. That ringing in the back is triggering my tinnitus, and it's not the most comfortable.
Well, thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe he was that upset over a Fidgetubby collection? One that hasn't even been graded?
Setting aside Detective Reyes' surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, you're correct. They held no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss.
But so what?
So what?
After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos is right-handed.
Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something?
So the reason why that note looks like a silent wall scribbles is just because he had to use his left hand to write it.
I tend to think better writing than typing. And I needed to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be good practice. Taking that into account, alongside the ceramics,
your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Now, let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to a big ol' goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it.
That's right, that coat is.
What, you gonna claim it's not his? That he actually wears an extra small?
She's trying to bait me, in her typical low-key fashion. As the arguments flow, you won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. This is true. Try to lose as little credit as possible while you wait for a more favorable chance. This face. She must have something. No sense playing into it.
Something you'd like to ask me, Detective?
I'm just curious. What'll it be next? What is this? Is that supposed to be Lady Justice? Wow. This is a pretty cool animation or whatever this is.
Gee, Carlos, do you?
No.
Yeah? Sure there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention? No, I'm afraid not. Not even gonna go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime. To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. But going there now, without hard evidence? No. I have no evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. So keep dreaming. It was obvious she had something there. I wasn't gonna win that hand either way. But at least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. We're not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene. Which was not smart. Hey. But not illegal either. And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes. Yes, he did.
Right.
Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way?
The lab finished with them a while ago.
What are you getting at? It'll be easier to just show you. Would you mind getting them for me? You know what? Sure. I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway.
Reyes, please. Only by wading through the many, many layers of bullshit can you get to the truth. That's what Ace Attorney has taught us. Here I thought the room smelled like.
Psst, Morgan. What are you doing? My coat's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So doesn't that, make me look really bad? Just relax, Carlos.
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
You're innocent. And that means that having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you.
Really?
Really?
Not really. Morgan is so good at this.
Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck or bad lawyers. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing.
What was it that it reminded me of?
Alright, here it is. One bloodstained jacket, fresh from the lab.
Ooh, the coat the suspect was wearing when taken into custody. Initial tests show blood on the left sleeve matches that of the victim. Wait. Why are there two? Who was it? Blood on the sleeve matches that of the victim with almost certainty. Almost certainty.
So what's your angle? You're gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? No, that would be silly.
She actually thought it over.
So what the hell's your point? Hey. Sorry, you just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune?
London is.
You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of murder. It has the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart by a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm. And so, this coat proves he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can.
Old world pre-tagging. No other details of any forensic significance, so there's no smell of gunpowder or anything?
Just do me one favor, Detective. Tell me what you smell.
I don't smell anything except dried blood.
Exactly. The gut smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of.
Cigarette. That's what I've been smelling.
Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation?
I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket?
If you would.
Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder. What? What about gunpowder?
Oh, don't blame yourself for not noticing. This was before your time.
You can't be more than a few years older than me.
But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder's weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring, and when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence.
The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms like the ones we carry use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue.
Gunpowder residue? You talked my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave digital traces. But a revolver like this one? It'd leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days.
So then his coat.
If you don't trust your noses, you can check the lab reports. I think if they had found any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. Well, whatever. That just means he washed off after shooting her or he changed his clothes. That's not impossible. But it would be pretty pointless.
Huh?
This jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue? Just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards? In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you can reconsider the charges Mr. Flatt is facing. As soon as possible.
Whoa.
They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them. But that gun is all they had to link Carlos to any of the shootings. So, if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit things were a little dicey there at times. But once I was able to grasp the situation, the smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say.
Did she get a message? That eye is so cool. Wait, did they actually manage to find it?
Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes?
You're good.
Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Thanks. But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting, and right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Wanna bet?
What?
A photo of the shooter? If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking.
But I doubt she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers.
I'm not sure I follow, Detective. Didn't we establish that there was an optics blackout during the shooting?
Sure there was. But this isn't from optics.
Good thing I held my tongue. As I thought, the scrubbers must have managed to dig up something from outside the network. Which means...
Party's over, counselor.
Feast your eyes on this.
Well...
Okay. The quality is... lacking. And yet there it is.
I managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of ASACs. What are the goddamn chances? Her face. Ads are gonna start in a bit, so we're gonna pause on this specific face because it's amazing. Grab a snack, some drinks, a comfy blanket, and we will be back in about 30 minutes. So, I, um, I have, a theory. And it's pretty insane, but I have a theory, and it's, and quote, I don't have anything to back it up, or well, I have one possible thing to back it up, but I'm gonna sound a little, I'm gonna sound a little let me pull up the board. The victim died of vegetarian poisoning. That's pretty crazy. That would be crazy. Turns out the Fidgetubbies were hiding this when they were sealed, when they were baked in the kiln, they released a toxin that was trapped in the Fidgetubbies. So when it broke, it permeated the room, the entire apartment. And the victim just happened to be allergic to this toxin. And meanwhile, Flat is completely fine because Flat has the painkillers that Flat has, the anti-itch stuff, just happens to counteract that. Yeah. Okay. But here's my actual. Oh, I don't think the picture is here. So the picture, if you recall. Hold up. Now I need to grab paint because I was hoping I would have the photo in the evidence, but I don't think I do. And I don't have it anywhere else, so it's not there. But let's see. How do I put this on the screen? So if you bear with me. Look after. Select paint. Wow, that's weird. Why does it look like that? Keep it? No? There you go. Okay. So if you bear with me just for a second. When we were looking at the picture that they gave us, that the Reyes was showing, how do I change the size? I don't know how to use MS Paint. It looked like, notably, the clock was over there, and then it was a close-up, and then it was that, right? Something like that they were holding. But most importantly is this right here, this clock, that's behind the mirror. So my insane theory is this over here is the mirror, and the person who shot Diane was Diane, because the mirror fell over, glass shattered, and on top of the victim's body. The only problem about this theory, well, there are many, but the main problem that I'm not sure about is I don't think... Okay, I can close this now. I don't want to save it, actually. Wait, let me move this over here. Transform. Flip. So the only problem I have with this is that I don't think anything, well, it doesn't say that there was any gunpowder or anything found on the victim. It just says that she was found shot through the heart. And that looks like it was all that they checked. But maybe there's gunpowder residue on her hand from when she shot herself. I don't know. Anyway. No, with the scale their tools operate on, I guess the chances are, as always, in their favor. Anyways, we continue. See? I don't know. I might be grasping for straws. Anyway. Although that would mean that this is somebody's right hand. And then it would possibly rule out Flat, because Flat's right hand, hasn't been used since the morning. Anyway, let's continue. Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I envisioned. You could even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are, well, it's a little bit blurry. So look at me, I didn't take the damn thing. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone, probably venting about how crazy the couple across the way was acting. But if their phone was on, its camera would be on. And so we managed to get this shot through the window. Oh, that's what these two things are. Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra-low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted, and so compressed it looks like it's from another century. There are tools that could enhance this image any further, and I could count the pixels on one hand. And you could kiss its admissibility in court goodbye. You can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image. And there's no way in hell you could get this past a judge. Yeah, you're probably right. I couldn't. But I think I know a DA that could. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving this police station anytime soon. That photo? What the hell is happening to me?
Think I know a DA that could? Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know had their left-hand fingerprints all over that gun?
You're referring to my client.
You think?
I'm convinced that's the mirror. Although, since it was through the window, the angle is a little different, so I don't think Diane was shooting herself. There might actually be a secret third person. Mysterious third person.
We've established he wasn't wearing his modded arm at all tonight, so he must have shot he must have shot with his left. Yes, and we've also established that he's weak with his left side. A left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever.
Forensics will never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get where you were going, you somehow end up dry. But that doesn't mean it didn't rain. Wow, that line was hard. That went hard. All I would just say, before judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is. But that photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. That photo is real. If both are true, then that means that photo doesn't show what it appears to show. My Ace Attorney background has taught me well. But yeah, London says so much stuff. Wow, that line, that was so good. So, at a loss for words.
Never.
I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly? Exactly. Positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. We dig on the phone's owner and ask them where. Why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the apartment faces to the south. There's a hallway that runs to the back of the bedroom. We're looking straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window. What? This is the northern window. Southern hallway where the shooter stood. Western window is facing the eastern wall. It has to be shot from here, because then that would make sense of the window, the mirror breaking. Too gay to be down for bad for him. What do you mean? Does he look straight? I mean, I guess he kind of does. Look at that waist, though. Sorry. From the north? If this is from the north, then why can we clearly see the clock? The clock! Oh, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I would definitely go for a beer with London too.
It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got the shot must live on the other side of the street.
So we're looking into the bedroom from the north window. You're wrong. The photo was from the west.
I'm afraid that's simply not possible, Detective. This photo has to have been taken from the west.
What kind of bluff is that supposed to be? The good detectives are misinformed here, and I need to take advantage of it.
Time to press the initiative. The hell do you mean this was taken from the west?
The autopsy tells us the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer Zark's data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting. And you can now raise the ante on a hand up to the current max. Answer wrong and you'll lose more credit. Answer correctly and you can bank up more credit for trickier hands down the line. And altogether that tells us that this photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider clock. Clock was on the wall. Just take one look at the clock in that photo. I got 21 plus 3. Let's go. Go all or nothing.
The clock? What about it?
The clock, huh?
Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high.
This photo was taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death is wrong. No, I think it's correct.
That's a good question, Detective London. But the answer's no.
I love her smug face. The autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree. The time of death was 9 p.m. Right, no mistaking that.
So then what the hell were you on about? There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style.
And it reads 9 o'clock. 9 p.m., the time of the shooting.
The hell's so special about that?
Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads. But, do you remember there being a clock in the room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock.
That makes sense.
You wouldn't recall seeing a clock?
because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor. And the only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. And my client has informed me that before the crime, it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. What the hell is that supposed to be? She's so proud of it. An artistic rendition. It's, very distinct. London is trying so hard to be nice right now. If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the arcs? And show you my hand? Just because discovery law compels us to share info, doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Slip my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is, if that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred, then this photo must be looking through the western window to— oh wait, that's the wrong person. Then this photo must be looking through the western window to see it. Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., the same time that this photo was taken of the shooter. But you want to claim that that clock's still on the eastern wall when it would have been knocked down during the fighting? You've got your logic backwards, detective. It's so cool. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And there's one other piece of evidence that proves exactly how the card fell. Mirror, mirror on the floor. Glass shards, what about them? Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body and not under it. If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, that would mean that she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards? It's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's the detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, are there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So what did you think when you saw the mess in the bedroom? That this was personal and things had gotten complicated. Shit happens. Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So what if the room didn't get tossed over until afterwards? He still shot her. Noctis just scratched at his scratch post and is now staring at me like, where is my treat that I am promised every time I do this? And he pressed the spacebar. And I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. It does? Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult, and maybe more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger. Oh, I was right, because it's the mirror. Because the man in that photo can't possibly be Carlos. Like hell it can't. The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And we know that until the room was tossed, that clock was on the eastern wall. Which means that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Back to this shit, that's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. Hello, gatito. You want more snacks? You do want more snacks. Please don't step on the keyboard. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is that he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You wanna eat, but you wanna watch. You can always watch the VOD. I say, forgetting to back up all of my December VODs. I promise I will do it for January. Jesus. You're a very honest. What is honest? Honest person, detective. Excuse me. That's why you're such a shitty gambler.
That face! She's winning and she knows it. You played your cards too early, and now I can steal the pot right out from under you.
You're right about the hallway's orientation. You're right about the prince. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we aren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What we're seeing...
Woo! 5 out of 5, baby!
What is that? You trying the glass shards again? Sorta. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, sure, they came from a standing mirror. A mirror that, at the time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window. But that would mean, at that angle from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks. And he hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. I'm glad that it was recovered, because it just proved what my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. Oh. That should be the end of it. Except, it looks like Detective Reyes really is an abyss gambler. Sunk cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But, lucky for you, Detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. In summary, my client's so-called confession was just a note to self. The police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with these facts, he received photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting. And instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to claim it depicted my client. A man without the requisite limb, oh my god, this face, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. He could have had a backup arm. He could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs. A bit.
Oh my god!
That's the best you've got? Even a bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. He'd have to bring it into a clinic, which would have left a record on his shoulder OS. A record you won't find. And he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for full spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around it minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? All in? Well, that eye, though. Any objections? Detective? God damn it! Yay, she folded.
Wow, that ending art though. Show me your hand flat. You're uncuffing me? In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you.
Now I gotta go call the DA.
And tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? Oh, listen, kid, you should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey, your attorney's a real tiger, and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah.
That's kind of you to say, Detective.
But my work is its own reward. Sure. I feel exactly the same, counselor. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal. And there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through.
But basically, you're free to go. Congrats, you get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact.
Yay? But what am I supposed to do?
The detectives will continue their investigation.
Their investigation into heartbreak, huh?
Yes.
When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements. No, that's not what I... Diane being gone is bad enough, but a serial killer? It's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore.
Well, people die of the flu all the time, but
I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. So, what am I supposed to do?
well, if I know. There are some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors.
No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself, to try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me.
Aww.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Carlos, but it's my job to...
No, I mean, thank you for not asking. For not asking if I killed her.
Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all...
What? No way! The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place. Easy to find. Hard to miss. But the blood's always different. A flowering stain unfurling towards an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom. Only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular universal meaning. Vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite. The end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. What? Bullet number 606. The gun's empty. That's useless to me now. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but whatever. What? Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an untied gun for a fair bit of cash, but cash can't buy you peace of mind. Well, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark in here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. Did you think I was her boyfriend? Back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey. Yeah, did you hear that? These old pieces are so goddamn loud. People aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighborhood. But I didn't see anything I could use as even a partial suppressor on the way in. Could they really not afford some throw pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces in small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash. But this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized even. So, the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. By the window, there are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes, each of them not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. And for the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner ruining everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it. Probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration, and try to savor the shredding. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This was all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... Heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All of the threads and breakdowns and the goddamn theory crafting. And all for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain. From a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no. That's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. He's just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... well, I'm sure people will come up with something. That he got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me? I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. If I had just walked away after seeing that mess by the window, it would have irritated me to no end. And now that it doesn't match the MO of the last 5 perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. Here's Wadey tonight. Big. Energized. A heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Police sirens? Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that. But I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. and I walk. The next day, 5 a.m., back in the present. Sorry, using my left still. That's okay. You can just initial in those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine city's sprawling public transportation, and got in a bit after 11 p.m. Had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, and did some stretching. Made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rate since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a liar and enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. Oh dear. A gambler with a system must be, to a lesser or greater extent, insane. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Of the devil indeed. Okay, where else? Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cop? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There would be doubts, questions, appeals, maybe even fans, depending on his luck. Thank you for the follow, Louis. Welcome, welcome. I do not do rigging, I only do PNGs. But I hope you enjoy your stay here. More attention on HK and his crimes, more headaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. Now, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Aw, thank you. Try. It's actually kind of hard to do Morgan's voice because it's a lot higher than I'm used to. But I really like this kind of sing-songy, nonchalant voice that I've given her. Now, Heartbreak can just starve to death, out of sight and mind like any other fluke in the system. Probably not in the near future anyway, because I like having a PNG. It's very comfy. And it's a lot easier to make if I want to do longer series like this and I decide to have a new outfit. I am thinking about looking into, what is it called? PNG Tuber Plus? Because it's very interesting to be able to rig, quote unquote, a 2D PNG. But I would need to do like some real serious research into it to figure out how to cut things up too. Almost done. Getting involved with a case this intimately does have its risks. Oh, I might have even overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside an interrogation room, just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked. But obviously, everything turned out rosy. This is such an oppressive angle, it's amazing. And it's worth it for the finality of it all. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house, that's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diane is grateful, too. Funny. I didn't even know her name.
Something the matter?
No, sorry, it's just. I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So, when she died.
Death was instantaneous, Carlo. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I can guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground.
No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That she must have died hating me. I have evidence. What evidence do I have? She was holding this. It must be this, although I'm not entirely sure why.
To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself.
What is it?
Something I noticed in the ARC's data that I didn't quite understand. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense of it.
Wait, what's it say? Meds for moderate non-lethal doses present. What is... Where did you find that?
That pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously, the police added it to the ARCs, but it was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help modders with phantom images. They're small tablets, and those are tricky clasps, too, for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did, feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it would appear that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week.
Ugh.
To my eyes, anyway. Long nights.
That was too far just now. Practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever even see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why did I even bother? It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. Though there won't be a next time for heartbreak. The gun's in custody, there's no more bullets left. There won't be a seventh victim. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next MO. And no one will ever found you. District Attorney Rockford. Oh my god. Toxic Yuri.
Sorry, can I try that again?
Oh my god. I have no idea what voice to give you.
I'm so fried.
By all means. Jesus. Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night, you're always so put together.
Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night?
Pardon?
You do white noise, aromatherapy. Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it.
God. I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. Emma! How is this game still going? Sorry. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta zoom. I love her already. She's so unabashedly herself. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. She's a prosecutor, a lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove a defendant's guilt. And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. So, what you're saying is... Toxic Yuri? I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Oh my god, this smug lip. I beat Yuri. Of course, yeah, she has that remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. That's part of what makes her good at her job. And hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? What have they got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma? How is there more game? Emma Rockford. Yawn. February 13th. And 165 centimeters. Oh, plus assistant district attorney. Likes coffee, toffee, and hot couture. Dislikes sunburn, dead pixels, and eye strain. She loves her eggs Benedict. Benedict. Goodness gracious, I can't read. And she plays chess, shogi, and idle savant stars. And yes, she's a cat person. Well, actually, I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Oh my god! The Megane shine! Well then you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No? Why would I be worried about going up against you? It's always the unintended barbs with her. So, you're working with those detectives? Meanwhile, the cat's just sitting on his scratch post and staring straight at me for possibly the past 20 minutes.
Hi. Are you waiting for your snack?
Yeah, London and the new girl, Reyes, they've been reporting to me in preparation for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. So, Reyes told you they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here? Hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much on my mind. So, when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer. The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks. She's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon, but I can answer that any number of ways. I feel like I'm being set up for something. That may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes. Oh my god, this face! These faces! The artist is so good. Right. Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about. His dominant arm modded with documented sensitivity issues. Never could have made shots that clean. Hello, Badman. I hope you are having a good time zone, evening or day. Not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention he's too tall for the ballistics. And ballistics entry angle. I'm probably too heavy to not leave imprints. Oh my god, what are all these cards? She got all that from a glance? But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself pointed all that out the minute you walked in here. Of course. Worst part is she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course it couldn't have been him. Hmm? Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. He didn't match the profile. Holy crap! Emma is a genius prosecutor. Profile? Yeah, Right, sorry, you've probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. I feel like they're colleagues. Like they must have faced off each other at some point. Or multiple times in Morgan's head. But Emma feels so nonchalant about everything. It's. A profile is a reconstruction of a criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100, the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it. But I think I'm getting the hang of it. I can't believe. So this profiling, it's some kind of investigative technique? The theory is that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust. They probably knew their victim. Poison and guns, meanwhile, suggests they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent. Almost perfect. Highly intelligent, painstakingly organized, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. Oh my god! Okay, I'm kidding. What is this? Oh, it is not. Yeah, that's not the thing we were looking for. Anyways. A sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. A lone wolf. Educated, but all her playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. Though I'm not thrilled about the fact that in that metaphor I would be the... Know what I mean? Definitely! Hello, Beetle. Welcome, welcome. And considering the marksmanship, the detective said that HK would have needed insider information on optics. So, does that mean heartbreaks in law enforcement? Never in 10 billion years. Oh. Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. He'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right, that's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary. These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I don't do anything even resembling that. She's getting so offended in her head. This is so funny. There's two conversations going on. It's amazing. Wait, if HK's not a cop, How did they know about the blackout timing? Crime meta statistics analysis, probably. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays. Chart out the dips and. Sorry. Technical, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator. Anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. Oh my god. That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. Okay. Can I snooze it in time? I can. Okay. I have no idea how much longer this is gonna be. So I am going to end stream here. And I think worst case, if this ends up being the end of episode 0, 15 minutes-ish? Okay. I'm going to delay the ads as long as I can then, and then just keep pushing. We will keep going. It does feel like it's near the end, but this game has already surprised me 2 or 3 times. Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it. He chose to leave it behind. Emma, you're scaring me. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No, not that I've found. Other victims that fit the description? No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. Oh, that's true. It takes a psycho to know a psycho. Hell, they kind of look like me. Do they? Sure. What? You don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So, I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. And that's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer. Morgan's like, wow, I am so uncomfortable right now. You've got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills, guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun. It's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip-up, a mistake? Exactly, a mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. Are you talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you've said, I don't blame them. Whoever trashed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. On the contrary. I don't follow. This was the last bullet. Their last shot. The other 5 were perfect. So if anything was out of the place this time around, wow! They must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. She looks so satisfied with herself. So proud. Morgan, how does it feel to be seen so intimately by the person in the same room as you, and yet they don't know that it's you? You make them sound like a child. Childish. And cowardly. And two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tell you all that? That? No. That part's just takes one to know one. Oh my god. The writing in this game is amazing. So, to summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless, perfectionist killer who you think has no persistent MO or victim type. Hi, Toy. How are you? Your Honor, they are both fucked in the head, and their freak. Her freak matches her freak, and it is perfect. I hope you're doing well. I think I'm winning. There is Yuri on the screen, so I think I'm pretty sure I'm winning. In a city with an 8-digit population. Oh, good luck. I don't need luck. I only need more information. Well, I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan. I mean, I need more crime scenes. Oh. Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. Of the devil. Fair enough. Woof. Okay, that rant was pretty morbid and detailed. I need to get out more. Or sleep more. Oh my god, the faces. Also, the art is amazing. The dialogue is amazing. The writing is amazing. The puzzles are so fun. Great game. And this episode is for free. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom. Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. So no hard feelings, yeah? No hard feeling. We're both just doing what we do. Hmm? Oh my lord, she's purple. I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. If you fall asleep face first onto the table, I won't even take a picture. Okay. The Orpal? She, yes. I don't have a good comeback. Just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throats. Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation. And the police will have moved on to cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. But Emma is different. Oh my god! She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner of that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it. Oh my god! Never finishing, but never quitting either. So I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. As long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Thank you. Episode 0 and on! Rah! Oh my god. This is an insane game. This is so fun. Everybody should play. Oh my god! Dad! Sorry. Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while.
Or how long?
I'm sorry. I don't know. Daughter! Daughter! I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to control myself. I've seen Timpani and Sophie play a little bit of episode 1 and 2, and I absolutely love this girl. I'm very excited. There's no need to look that upset over it.
Like, my face barely moved.
It may as well have been a blatant pout from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that. Oh.
This friend of yours, they're trustworthy?
Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone.
Hmm.
Hey, come on. It'll be fun.
Really?
Really. Educational, too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Like how to scam someone and how to gamble and all in and bluff it until your opponents fold. This is insane, and I can't wait to play episode 1 next week. I was actually kind of annoyed that I started playing this on stream because that means that I have to play the rest of it on stream. And I really, really, really wanted to play it off stream. But actually, this was amazing, and I want to keep doing it on stream. I am very excited. That was episode 0, and that is the free episode. 10 out of 10. If you've never played or you just dropped in the final couple minutes or so, highly, highly, highly recommend playing it. It is a beautiful And He Shall Appear. Episode 0, And He Shall Appear, to be continued in episode 1. Oh, okay. You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world. You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. I think I can guess what happens next.
I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised. Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And after, too.
Can't tell you how many musicians I've been screwed over by a big smile. I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus.
So, that's not just a lawyer job thing? You dress like a doorman on the weekends, too?
Compared to determining fault, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. The company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long, but it's a million times more likely than the alternative. That heartbreak could ever stop themselves from killing.
Father said that you owed him.
I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart, but when I take a job, I never half-ass it. Oh my god! Episode 1, An Idle Mind. Wow! I'm okay. I'm okay. It's true, I could have freaked out as much as I wanted to. And just, like, stopped. Probably throw my Steam Deck across the room. Congratulations! You finished episode 0 with 35 credit. You also unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios? I can have phone charms? Oh! Okay, we gotta go. I can't snooze the ad anymore, so we have to go and read somebody before the ad starts. But possibly next week, I will be staring very intently at the phone charms. And actually, this gives me time to buy and download episode 1, so I'm very excited, yeah. Woo! Thank you for the care kit. I hope y'all enjoy. I will, in fact, drink some water and probably eat a little bit more food because I'm hungry after all of that brain. We are going to raid my friend Kim, who is raiding, haha, in FF14. Actually, I think he's ending soon. Wait. Cancel. Oh no, I can't make the ads. Sad. Okay, we're just gonna sit through the ads and I will yap some more. It's okay, I'm okay. The cat is staring at me like, parent, what the hell is wrong with you? But I think we have to sit through the ad. I actually can't tell what Kim is doing right now. I think they're probably ending soon. It has been 4 hours since they started raid. And it doesn't look like they're in a party anymore. Hello, Kato. So, after the ads, we will probably go to Otter. But yeah, I will. Oh, I just pushed the cat by accident. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah, next week will be a fun one, and I will probably go through the bonus scenario because I'm curious what those are, and then take a gander at all of the extra stuff. Mostly just the scenarios, I think, for stream, and then I'll start episode 1. But that was amazing. I enjoyed every part of that. It's such a wonderful love letter to Ace Attorney, Danganronpa, other one that I can't remember right now. It's so good. It's so stylish. The UI is so nice. The art is absolutely amazing. Gorgeous sprites. The gambling part is incredibly interesting. And that twist is just chef's kiss. And I am very, very excited to keep playing of the Devil. The writing is really good too. I really, really enjoy I really, really enjoy the writing and the way the mystery unfolds, and it feels like, as opposed to Ace Attorney's like slow build up and then the final case feels like it's like 6 hours and the ending is nowhere in sight and you're just bluffing left and right. This one is like right at the get-go, you are bluffing everywhere. It's just layers and layers of bullshit until you find a plausible scenario that will get your client innocent, an innocent verdict, and also keep you, and also just move attention away from you, which is amazing. That twist is so good. It's so good. Okay, I need to stop yapping. The ads have finished. Welcome back to TLDR. I love it a lot, and y'all should play it. And that was around 4 hours on stream of me yapping and reading. Also reading comprehension. It was really cool that it's just like, remember to read your evidence. Remember all of the things that you have come across that people are telling you, because that's how you gain trust and how you work through the mystery. Instead of being like, huh, I'm sure there's something in that pile of text somewhere. It's fine, it'll play out by itself.
It's so cool!
But yeah, the 4 hours that I just played of today and last week is free. Episode 0 is free. I should go play it if you haven't already. Toxic Yuri, yippee! Toxic Doom? Question mark Yuri? Yeah. Okay, we are going to raid into otters. Friday I will be arting. It's a workshop day again. Possibly I will be designing clothes, possibly I might be doing something else. We shall see. As always. It's a little funky because my commissions are closed, so it's not the commission slot anymore, but I will be creating or crafting something on that day for sure, while yapping, as always. But yeah, until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe, everyone. And I will see you on Friday for art, and next week, I can't wait already for Oh the Devil episode 1.
Bye bye. Good night.